I'm here with Dr. Garth le Pere from South Africa. He's a professor at the University of Pretoria and senior partner of Dajo Associates. A very warm welcome from the German Development Institute.
Thank you.
Professor le Pere, you have been a close associate of the program Managing Global Governance, which is implemented jointly by the German Development Institute and GIZ. What do you see as the major benefit of the MGG program for participating individuals and partner organizations in the South?
Well, I think there are two levels to explain the importance. The one is that the program is multinational in nature, in the sense that it brings together students and participants from different countries to share their experiences. And the second is that it is a very challenging intellectual environment. Global governance is a very diffuse concept, subject to different definitions, and the students engage in different manifestations of global governance such that when they leave the program or when they finish it, they have a much clearer understanding of what constitutes the main challenges of global governance and also become the ambassadors for the program.
Today, you're giving a public lecture at the Global Governance School on Crime and Africa's Uncivil Society. Why are you concerned about the impact of criminal networks on Africa's development? And what are the links between state fragility and illegal activities in the African context?
Well, globalization is commonly understood as an unmitigated good, but there's also a dark side of globalization. So this lecture will look at the manifestations of the dark side of globalization, which I call uncivil society, and how this plays out in terms of different kinds of activity, which I argue are essentially a function of state fragility and state weakness. And the examples range from piracy, the plunder of natural resources, human trafficking, terrorism, money laundering, and so on. But it's piracy that I think is increasingly becoming a concern.
That brings me to my next question. The world is presently looking at Somalia. To what extent is the hunger crisis a direct result of transnational criminal structures, and how should the international community react?
Well, I think what I'm trying to say in this lecture is playing itself out with a certain kind of veracity in Somalia, in the sense that there is an entire collapse of the state infrastructure. There is no central authority that exercises territorial control over the Somali state, such that there are large spaces that are open to capture. That is why Al-Shabaab, the so-called terrorist group with links to Al-Qaeda, has become such a major player and is directly linked to the problem that Somalia is now facing, namely an emerging famine crisis.
Professor le Pere, thank you so much for joining us today here at the German Development Institute in Bonn, and we're looking forward to your lecture tonight.
Thank you very much.